Hey, I'm Dave
And I'm Chris.
with the Miniatures Rundown, and once again we're going to give you a look at the news of the day on our companion site, our blog at GameTalkNetwork.com. Our first story is about the 40K app update. Really, this is just news that they've announced when the free access to the Battleforge feature will end and what you'll have to do to keep getting access to it. It's going to end on August 30th. And the Battleforge feature is the army builder, really. Simply put, it's the army builder. They have said that the rules and even the stat blocks and datasheet information will continue to be free. That was a pleasant surprise to me a little bit. You'll only need to do something special to get access to this part, the Battleforge part, and that is a Warhammer Plus subscription. And that's interesting. It makes me more interested in Warhammer Plus, Chris, because Warhammer Plus alone is a handful of streaming shows. It's $5.99 a month or $59.99 a year. For that, back issues of White Dwarf in a digital form and older source books in a digital form, it wasn't quite enough for me to keep with it.
Well, you also get the free mini.
You do get the free mini if you subscribe.
And that's a $40 value.
It is.
So you're only paying $20 for all the shows.
Yeah, provided you want that mini.
Everybody wants the mini.
It's one specific mini. I think last year it was a Chaos
No,
Infantry
you've got the choice of two.
You do? Oh, well, that's better than I thought.
It's one from Age of Sigmar or one from 40K.
Oh, see, and I don't play Sigmar, and I think the 40K one was a Chaos guy, and I was like, eh.
But there aren't as many people on it, so you take it and you resell it.
Hey, that's a good point. I'm not thinking entrepreneurial enough, obviously.
You can't see it, but I got my hand out to Dave, and now I'm asking for his mini.
Yeah, Chris is a better businessman than I am, obviously. I just report on these things. But it does make me more interested in Warhammer Plus. Like I said, some of the shows have gotten a lot of good buzz, but I just never wanted to pay the full monthly amount just to see them. But now, you throw in the army builder, and I'm interested. I might do it.
So pay a month and binge.
Yeah, well, sure. But you won't get new episodes. I think they're regularly releasing new episodes. But
You wait 6 months, buy a month and binge.
Now, whether you won't get that free miniature you want me to sell.
I was trying to help you out, one way or another.
Yeah, I'm a difficult person to help. Our next story is just an update on the scale of the Legions Imperialis models.
Yay, tiny little models.
Chris loves the tiny models. So I chose the featured image for the story because I have to choose one. These are really just Adeptus Titanicus models from the relaunched game of that name in 2018. The reason that this is the featured image is because the scale is kind of based on these, and these are at a bigger scale than the original Adeptus Titanicus by almost twice as much. And that kind of summarizes the difference in scale.
Okay, so we're starting out here with the infantry.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You should talk about this because you know more than I do.
Okay, so the guys here on the round bases are the new infantry models. The guys on the square bases are the old epic models from way back in the 90s. And I think those strips are from... Or am I totally getting it backwards? No, I think the strips are from the 2012 Epic Armageddon. Or did I get it totally backwards?
No, the square ones are the old. You got it right. I think the square ones are the oldest. The rectangular ones are the middle.
Because they fit on the old Epic buildings.
Ah, there's always a reason. So these look roughly twice as big to me, too. That's a general theme, almost twice as tall.
Okay, so looking at that, it looks like it's 4th edition is the smallest, then the old Epic, then the current one.
Yeah.
But on the other photo, it looked like it was the other way around for the older versions.
To me, the older and the middle ones look really close, almost the same. And it may be this angle, this kind of aspect. What do you call this? Not isometric. Isometric angle that they have these taken from. Maybe deceiving. I don't know.
But then here you have 4 different human infantrymen. This is at the bottom. You have the old standard Imperial Guard. Then you have Catachans and Valhallans from the 4th edition,
right? And
then the Solar Auxilia from the. Oh God, I'm never going to get used to rattling that off.
Armageddon, Epic Armageddon.
No, Legios.
Oh, Legions.
Legions Imperialis.
Because the first word in the title is not High Gothic. That's why it's confusing. Legions, and then you say Imperialis. You don't have to say it like that, but you can because it's fun.
You sound Italian.
Legions Imperialis. I'm trying to sound Roman or something. High Gothic is basically Latin. All right. So we got some more infantry here.
Ogrins.
Ogrins versus...
Oh my God, they're huge.
Karanites or Charonites. I don't know what those are. Is that the modern 40K?
They're ogres in armor.
Oh, they just don't call them Ogrin anymore. I do like this. When we move down to the Marines, I like this one little jumpy guy. This is like the Leroy Jenkins of this unit. He's like, let's go! And he's like, taking off in his rocket pack.
Yeah, that is cool.
And I don't know what's going on with the cowbell head person.
Oh,
here.
it's supposed to be like a banner.
Oh. That's the scale deceiving me.
Yeah.
Let's do a close-up.
I mean, he's got a banner, but the guy beside him, the one with the like you were saying, the guy with the
it's behind
cowbell
his
head,
head.
that's the actual commander.
So it's not a cowbell; it's a banner behind his head.
Yeah, you've got from the right, you got a tech marine, you've got the banner bearer, you've got the commander, you've got a chaplain, and that's probably the apothecary there.
He's got some kind of
he's in
cybernetic
white
head. Oh yeah, he's in white. That's true. In any case, so that's Imperial Fists on the left versus the. This is where they do have the two words in High Gothic in the new game. This faction is Legiones Imperialis. Or really, this is a game from a British perspective, and they anglicize everything. So really, it's probably Legions Imperialis.
Yeah,
And these guys,
Space Marines.
And these guys are probably Legiones Imperialis. And I think if you're a Space Marine, you have that low guttural voice.
Legiones.
Legiones.
Astartes. You got it written.
Astartes. Oh, you're right. I got it wrong. I've also gone to an urban low-class accent for no reason.
But can we get some lieutenants? How many lieutenant bases are we going to have?
I don't know. It's all according to the release schedule. All right,
Lehman Russ tanks.
I'll show myself out.
Imperial Guard, here we go.
Yeah, let's talk tanks. I know you love tanks, Chris.
Yep. So we're looking at the upper left. You got the little green one is from the original epic in the mid-90s.
It's metal.
Yeah, that one is metal. Yep.
And they don't say pewter. Later in the article that that's my source, they do specify that one is pewter. This one they just call metal. My guess is they don't want to come out and say that it's lead.
It's lead.
Yeah. But no one wants to say that now. Like, someone touched this to put this in the photo, and maybe they're going to get blood poisoning now. I don't know.
No, it's sealed in layers and layers of paint and varnish. Nothing's coming out of there unless you masticate it.
Maybe that's why they did. Really, they were helping us make lead safe by painting it, by coating it in safe paint.
Anyway, the next one to the left, up from there is our 4th edition epic, and then the current one, which is. It looks so much bigger.
It does. I wish they did more front on. We'll see some front on photos of the Titans below where you really see the size difference. But here they've taken it from this partial overhead that I think is called isometric. But I don't remember, and I'm not going to open a window and look it up right now.
I'm wondering if they just took stock photos they had and
could be
spliced them together.
Yeah, I would do that if I were preparing the article. So it could be.
And then on the other side, you have a couple more Lehman Russ variants.
Yeah, this one is an alternate build. I guess you can make this with the same kit. So I believe these are two different ways you can build the Legions Imperialis Lehman Russ.
Right. They were just talking about doing turret swaps, right?
I don't know, but they're calling this one a Vanquisher.
Right. So a Vanquisher has a different turret weapon.
Ah, okay.
Instead of a battle cannon, it's got the anti-tank gun.
So moving on.
And underneath it.
And
underneath it, it looks like that's another epic 4th edition version.
Yeah. They don't specify. They just call it a previous version. Or smaller. They don't even say that. They say smaller version.
Well, with GW, they're going to have the same sort of paint jobs on things, so
yeah,
you can tell by looking at it.
Gotcha. Yeah. They got that stripe thing going on.
Camouflage.
So
you can lose your tanks on the table.
I mean, if you're not playing outside, I guess it's okay. I don't play on grass.
All right, now we're looking at Space Marines again.
Yeah. So there's a Predator. This, I believe, is the Legions Imperialis. Predator?
Yes, it is.
Legions Imperialis, mate. And what's this one?
It is an earlier version.
Ah, okay.
God, does it look ridiculous?
I think it's kind of interesting, but very different than the new one. Then we've got 4 generations of rhinos. We got Rhino Palooza over here. The red tank is from Epic 40K. This, they just say, is a plastic rhino from the 90s, so that would rule out, I think, Epic Armageddon, which was early 2000s. And this is a pewter model. This is the pewter model I was talking about, where they do tell us it's pewter. This is actually a prototype.
Yeah, the yellow one, when they say it's a plastic rhino from the 90s, they're meaning it's from Epic.
Yeah.
And when they're talking about the Epic 40K one, they were talking about Epic Armageddon.
Oh,
I
how
think.
confusing.
Well, there's a lot of different
Yeah.
iterations of this.
Sure.
And we're not even getting into, stuff like 3D printing and all the variant models that came out over the years.
Let's stick to official. We only have so much
You're
time.
You're right. Got to sell this somehow.
So this this pewter one is a prototype from the personal collection of one of the original designers, which is kind of cool that they still have it and they're showing it here.
And it's hard to see because the scale of the photo is so small, but it is really almost one for one what became the plastic one. Oh, there we go. It blew up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you can see where the smokestacks go. You can see where the storm bolters are. It's just these little bumps in the back of the yellow one that you don't see on the black one. And of course, the cow catcher.
Yes. Dozer.
I was trying to be more like you.
Don't do that. I mean, my life is a shambles. All right. Finally, we have the big heavy hitter, the Bane Blade.
Super heavy tanks.
Super heavy tanks. Well, super heavy. You're welcome, Chris. These 3 here are not Bane Blades, I don't think, but they are super heavy class. So their sizing should be similar. But again, this is the older scale, so they're littler.
Well, I mean, they're all variants.
Out of a Bane Blade?
It was a basic Bane Blade chassis, and then stuff got added to it.
Gotcha.
For many of these, that's the thing they started out with. And if you look close, the green one and the current Bane Blade at the top, those are the same things, it looks like.
Really, really similar, if not the same.
Yeah.
This one has more kind of gothic-y flourishes to it. I don't know if that's just the way it's painted, but it looks more Baroque to me. It has more of this, like, ornate detail.
Well, the detail that can be achieved today compared to then is just incredible.
Yeah, and you can really see it here.
Yeah, I mean, all of those painted the yellowy brass lining stuff is probably going to be raised surfaces. You can see everything that was dry brushed, the light grays on top of the darker grays. And that's just not there on the earlier models.
Right. Yeah, and it probably wouldn't even be, not that these are metal models, but the difference would probably be even greater with metal, I think, because you just don't have those little precise, tiny lines like that you can get in injection molding. All right, let's look at Titans. Here we start to really visually take in the scale difference. These are both Warhound Scouts. Same basic idea. Old, new.
Short, tall.
AKA short, tall. Here are 3 Reavers. This weird unpainted white one is from 1989, which is going way back. I actually didn't even think that Epic was that old. 40K itself, Rogue Trader released in 87, I think? 88? Something like that.
I mean, you're looking at the beginning of Epic right there.
Yeah. Then just next to it is something from 2003, which I guess will be Epic Armageddon.
It's another variant of the Titan.
And here is the new one, which is probably from Titanicus and usable in Legions Imperialis.
Oh, God. We keep doing that.
I think it should always be said that way.
It's going to hurt my throat.
Well, you don't have to say it. I'll do it. I'll take care of the
all right, he's got the sound effects.
I've got the drama duty.
Warlord Titans.
Yeah, finally, the big guy, the Warlord, where you can see the scale difference in most stark contrast. This guy's from 1997, our little green friend on the left there. He also looks less gothic, and I don't even mean in just the details. Like his pauldrons are very squared off, almost Battletech looking. And then it makes me wonder if the line over time, in addition to the greater ability to get detail in the sculpts, like you were saying, I wonder also if they didn't just evolve. Initially, they might have thought like, oh, let's do something like a Battletech, but it's 40K, and then it kind of really grew into its own identity into this very Baroque grimdark gothic thing.
Well, if I'm remembering right, back in the day, they were like supposed to be like little cities on top of the biggest Titans.
True. Yes.
So they were trying to echo that, and then with the new version, they're just going straight for the gothic.
Yeah, but just the full gothic mech guy, literally a mech knight. Even though
God machine.
The God machine. Even though I know knights are something specific, they're smaller walkers. But in the sense of the historical reference, I mean, look at that helmet. That is a paladin's helmet right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a knightly mech walker. I just want to say it one more time, Chris, before we leave this topic. Legions Imperialis, mate.
Legions Imperialis, mate.
There you go.
Wait, we're in Battletech.
Battletech, mate. That one doesn't work as well.
No. Battletech is definitely American mecha.
Yeah, it kind of is. So what do we have to say about this?
So anyway, they're Battletech mercenaries. So this is where they're introducing a bunch of mercenary companies. They're improving a bunch of mercenary companies, and they're introducing a bunch of vehicles. Okay, so Battletech mercenaries. We're getting new box sets, expanding play for Battletech with 50 miniatures and new fiction. They're still doing late backer signups till the end of the month. And this set is introducing vehicle models. So if we go down a little bit, we'll be able to see some of that good stuff.
There's something right here at a pledge level.
Yeah, that's
that's
PDFs.
That's fiction stuff. Where are the vehicles?
Oh, keep going. They're hiding.
Oh, these
You just missed one. So there's a couple hiding right in there. That's going to be in the Battletech Mercenaries box. Can we get a closer view of those?
We can try. It's going to be low res, but what are these, hover tanks?
Yep.
Cool.
I haven't done Battletech in a long time, so I can't really tell you what they are, other than they float.
Do they tell us here? They really don't.
Nope, just that it's
Here's
models.
a bunch of stuff. And vehicles.
You're supposed to know.
Well, we failed. That's okay.
The force packs that are going to appear in stores.
Here's some more tanks.
This thing called a salvage box, which if you didn't know is their way of getting around selling single miniatures, because Iron Wind Metals has the license for selling single miniatures.
Oh.
And so
I did not know that.
They're doing these salvage boxes so they can sell one miniature because it's a blind draw, not a single miniature that you chose.
Interesting.
Yep. All right, here we go. Tanks.
Demolishers. Shreks?
Well, before the movie, thank you.
Do they also sell you a donkey?
No, they don't sell you a donkey, but you're going to have 3 PPCs to shove down that mech's throat.
Wow. Things got aggressive really suddenly.
Yeah.
Hover tanks?
Yeah. He's doubting me.
It's getting weird here in the studio, which is actually the back part of a game store, which is why you might hear some chatter out there. We're keeping it real back here.
And a couple of hover tanks.
How come the plural of Pegasus is not Pegasi? Just want to ask that question. That's one for you guys to comment on if you want to leave us a comment.
Because
if you know Latin.
Because it's a Pegasus Scout hover tank.
Oh, never mind. That's
it's
an easy
2
answer.
Tanks.
I didn't notice that. You're right. This is a compound noun. Tanks. Again, Chris, you're very welcome. And then
I'm so glad to be educated by Dave.
More tanks here. Manticores.
More tanks.
Vedettes. It's too bad we don't get bigger images of these. I mean, I can pop this out, but it's probably still not that detailed. Yeah, not really.
And lots of missile carriers.
Okay.
Support vehicles, recon and hunter vehicles. Oh, wait, go back up.
Uh-huh.
The recon and hunters where we're getting the attack helicopters.
Ooh. This is becoming much more than just a game about mechs, obviously.
They're going to get swatted, but you're going to have fun while you're doing it.
If they're so easily destroyed, then how are they useful in the game?
They're cheap.
Oh, so it's a swarmy thing.
The tank is the Planetary Defense Force's best friend.
Ah.
Because it costs like a quarter of what a mech does. Here's some, well, renders anyway.
Yeah, but decently sized so we can see a little bit better. Those look like Apaches, those helicopters, except they have a lot of blades.
You would be surprised
6 blades.
You would be kind of surprised at how much inspiration they took from modern stuff.
Yeah.
Or not.
Well, it's an ultra-modern game. It's really solidly that, right? Like, that's kind of the theme of it. You get battle mats. You get... wow, this is huge.
Yep.
Huge. What is this? Plushies. If you want to cuddle up at night with a good book and a Battletech mech, they got you covered.
They're add-ons, that they've had these out for a while.
I'm just going to say that the way some of these shake out as plushies is a little unfortunate and leave it at that.
Don't go there.
Aerospace Fighter. First 48... Well, we missed that. That's a 48
A long time ago.
Yeah. Oh, Rainbow Mechs. That's cool.
And Battletech is supposedly a 6mm game. So say it.
It's like like you're gonna say that it's the same scale as the new Legions Imperialis.
He said it. Yeah.
Right. Should I keep scrolling?
No, I don't think so. I think we're wasting time here.
Okay. I think it's cool they're continuing to push the fiction. I just want to say, I know that fans of the Battletech universe really like not just the game, but the lore. The lore is kind of deep, and I've heard of people getting their clan symbol tattooed on their body and stuff. I know people are really into that. It's nice to see that.
You mean like the people who have the 40K symbols tattooed onto their body as well?
Yeah, these two games strike me as the most lore-rich miniatures war games that I can think of, although I can't claim to be the biggest expert. Maybe War Machine comes close to that.
I think they all get beat out by any World War II game.
Well, of course. You can't beat an entire actual planet and all of the nations on it for deep lore.
Well, you said deepest lore.
Fair point.
All right, so how about deepest lore for a science fiction game?
Science fiction or fantasy games? Sure. Probably the big three would be War Machine, Battletech, and 40K, but I might be missing something out. Again, if you've got other things you want to bring up that you think have deep and cool lore that we're missing, leave them in the comments. That is the rundown for today. The miniatures rundown, I should say. Catch us next time. Like and subscribe, and don't forget to visit our companion blog site, which I write for, GameTalkNetwork.com. It's that highlighted portion. And we're out.